4 tips to make language learning fun. So I understand for a lot of people, myself included, language learning, although it is a cool goal to have, it can sometimes be a little bit of a bore and it's difficult to do. It's low dopamine, you're not particularly enjoying it, which is why I'm basically making this video to explain to you how to make language learning more fun. So let's get straight into it. Here is something I want you to understand, which is basically a graph of how language learning works and how we can implement fun. So this is you, this is your goal to learn a language, and this arrow represents the language learning process. Obviously, you have problems, you're demotivated, you're busy, etc. A bunch of things that are, this is a minus by the way, that are basically lowering your enjoyment. And of course, when your enjoyment is lowered, it's more difficult to do the thing that you're actually, that is required to achieve the goal. So the solution is obviously to implement something with a plus, something that is actually going to boost our enjoyment. And of course, that would be fun. So whether it's dopamine, fulfillment, etc., just fun in general is going to improve the language learning process. And it's actually quite a simple thing to implement that is often overcomplicated by a lot of people on the internet when they make videos on how to make language learning fun, etc. So let's actually talk about how to do that. There are basically, I think I call it SAPs. There's basically 4 things that you can implement to improve language learning. So similar, ambitious, positive, and social SAPs. That's what I call it. Let's go straight through it. So similar, we'll start with that. Basically, consuming content, obviously you're watching this video, so you obviously have some kind of content in English or your native language that you do already consume. You have activities you already do that you would enjoy in your native language. And this basically, the best way to enjoy learning a foreign language is to just do the same things in the foreign language. Obviously, you're not as good at the foreign language, which is why you're learning it. So you can't, go full pedal to the metal exactly the same way as you would in your native language. But you can still do things. You can consume the same social media content in the foreign language. You can read books, watch movies and TV in the foreign language. You can do vocab mind maps, which I'll talk about in a second. You can do a bunch of different things. So if you watch, videos about the gym, videos about whatever, you can literally type into Google Translate how to search that up in the foreign language, put that into YouTube or whatever, and you can watch videos on that with subtitles, even if you don't fully understand, just to entertain yourself. And although it might not be quite as fun as in English, you will find you are actually getting better. And as far as books, movies, and TV go, you can occasionally find them for free online. Probably not to talk about in this video, but there are ways to do it. If you want to talk about that with me, you can jump in the Discord below. It's completely free. But you can, there's plenty of ways to get around that, and you can also pay for books if you like. Vocab mind maps are basically where you list a few topics you're interested in, you write a bunch of words to do with them. Like, for example, you might write Harry Potter if that's a topic you're interested in, and then you could write like magic, spells, wands, etc. Translate those words, make basically a mind map of foreign language words to do with that topic, and then learn them. So you'd be learning words to do with the topic you're interested in. Wikipedia is another one, by the way, that you can read for free. And yeah, that is basically similar. That will hugely boost the amount of fun you have in the language you're learning, simply by doing things that you're already interested in just in the foreign language you're learning. You'd be surprised. I actually stumbled upon a comic I own, because I read a few comics. One that I own that was in Russian. And it's the full version. I only have half the version. So I'm very tempted to buy it. I'll let you guys know if I do and show you in a video. But yeah, the next thing I will say that you do need to implement is to be ambitious. So you should always have some kind of project or short-term goal that you're working on. Obviously, you have a long-term goal, which is to learn the language, but it's good to have some kind of short-term goal that you're actively going towards, just in the short term, to keep you motivated, to keep you excited. So, for example, you're learning this vocab group you're working on. You're reading this book, you're working on this creative project, like maybe designing a board game or a short story, just something cool like that. It's always good to have something in the short term you're working on. So yeah, the P stands for positive, so basically keeping your life balanced. This is outside of language learning, but often if you are neglecting other things in your life, for example, your health, your stress, that can actually bleed into language learning, and you basically won't feel like doing it because it's no longer the priority. So a bonus tip I will give you is to basically make sure someone's speeding outside, sorry about that. Basically, to make sure the future always has to be better than the present. So you should always have some kind of excitement in the short-term future, as we just said. But if you, right now, think about your life, if you think that the future is actually not going to be better than the present, life can get pretty boring pretty quickly and pretty dull, simply because you don't actually have anything to look forward to. Like, for me personally, I love my life. I think my life is only going to get better in the future, which is why I'm always excited. But there's been times in my life when it's not like that, and I know people that are chronically not like that, and it's very difficult for them to do anything but just be dull, because that's kind of a dull reality to face. So yeah, make sure you do take stock of your life and make sure everything's in check, and you should have other goals to basically work towards in life and to ensure that your life is good. So yeah, manage your health, manage your work, live with excitement, and that is P. The final thing I will say is S, which is social, and that's to have someone with you that is actually on the journey at the same time. So it could be a native speaker. Obviously, they're not on the same journey. They're just helping you. Could be a fellow learner. Could be a community like my Discord, which is completely free and in the description if you wanted to jump in it. But just somebody else that's also learning a language, even if it isn't the same language, it's just good to have someone with you that you can talk to, that understands the thing. And I know personally, you could be in, obviously language learning isn't, the worst of things, but if you're in like a really, really toxic workplace or whatever, having literally one person in that workplace that just likes something that you also like, I know for a fact, because I've gone through that, is super, super good. Like if you imagine, if you've ever worked like a really terrible job, but you had one person there that when they were on shift with you, it was fine. You know how powerful having one person with you is. And that's why everyone should have someone that can actually help them learn the language. And if you are interested in learning the language, definitely check out the Language Learning Accelerator. In the description, it is my course that I've built for beginners. It's very, very cheap at the moment with a host of bonuses, and I will actually personally coach you as a bonus that I've currently got up, but it won't be there for too much longer. So definitely check it out if you're interested. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe as well if you like this kind of content, because it makes me feel good about all the effort I put in to help you for free. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.